Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome you to the second webinar on Eat Smart Cities Challenge. Today, we have a very exciting lineup of events. We will hear from food safety commissioners from the states. They will share their experiences with you about how they've implemented initiatives of Eat Right India. Then we'll have a question and answer sessions where you will be able to ask questions that you have about these initiatives. And of course, we will hear from my colleague Ruchika Sharma on how to implement these Eat Right India initiatives. Let me begin by first welcoming Inoshi Sharma ma'am, our Director of SBCD at FSSAI, to deliver the welcome address. Inoshi ma'am, please.
Thank you so much and good afternoon to everybody. It's so exciting that we have reached the second webinar in this series. What is really important in today's webinar will be that we'll be sharing in detail a little bit more about what is Eat Right India and what are the various programs which fall under Eat Right India. Now, one is, of course, we tell you what the programs are about, and then we have two of our districts, one representative from the state and one from the UP, which will be actually telling you how the Eat Right initiatives have been implemented so that you get a first-hand experience about how to take up a program and go about it. Secondly, I would also request you that if you have any questions, please do share them with us because we would also like to know what kind of queries you have so that we can improvise on the subsequent webinars which are coming. So without much delay, I'll hand it over to my colleague Rahul from Smart Cities Mission. Rahul, if you want to share some words, please do that. Then we can go to the presentation by Ruchika.
Thank you so much, Inoshi. I think in the interest of time, because we have got these experts from the states and the union territories to address the audience, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions because now that we are beginning to build traction with regard to these challenges, and this is the second webinar within a period of 1 week. So I'm also really very excited to listen and learn from our panel of experts today. So we'd like to welcome them, and I would hand over to the moderator to please take the proceedings forward.
So Ruchika, I think you should just go ahead and start.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. And this is Ruchika Sharma. And today I will be giving you a brief presentation on the Eat Right India movement and details around key action areas that cities need to implement as part of the challenge. Ruchika, can you please display my slides?
Ruchika, I don't have your slides.
Just give me a second. We are displaying the slides. Just give me a second, please.
Hi, Ruchika, should I display your slides?
Yes, Sudhir, I think you can do it because you have the hosting rights and the sharing rights. So maybe you can share it if you have the presentation available with you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Ruchika, can you please display my slides? I'm having a little challenge with technology here.
Ruchika, I don't have sharing rights. The host will share the slides.
Yes, we can see the PPT.
Thank you. The Eat Smart Cities Challenge, as Ruchika mentioned in her last webinar, we had given you a brief orientation about this challenge, how cities can apply into the challenge and what resources are available for them. In today's session, I'll be talking in detail about every initiative under Eat Right India, and how cities can implement these programs at the ground level. Next slide, please. As we mentioned in the last webinar, the Eat Right India movement has been launched as a large-scale effort to transform country's food system in order to provide people with safe, healthy, and sustainable food. This is inspired by the focus on preventive and promotive healthcare, and it also aligns with other flagship programs like Swachhata Hi Seva, Poshan Abhiyan, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Swachh Bharat Mission, etc. Eat Right India is a people's movement and is based on three key themes: eat safe, eat healthy, and eat sustainable. Next slide, please. So what we have achieved in Eat Right India so far, it's a brief snapshot, and I would like to take you through our key achievements. This program adopts a whole of government approach by aligning all ministries, government departments for convergence, a whole of society approach by converging with experts in food safety and nutrition, consumer organizations, and NGOs. We have also set up an Eat Right steering committee to plan future course of action and undertake impact evaluations of the programs. The Eat Right India program was selected as one of the top 10 global organizations for an award by Rockefeller Foundation in partnership with Second News and OpenIDEO for the Eat Right India Vision 2050. We had undertaken a largest mass mobilization effort through a pan-India cyclothon, Swasth Bharat Yatra, witnessing the participation of over 20,000 cyclists, 10 lakh participants, over 2,000 in a span of 100 days, touching the lives of 2.5 crore Indians. Next slide, please. We have seeked endorsement from influencers across sectors in the field of sports, cinema, hospitality, etc. For instance, we have done large-scale citizen-centric campaigns with Virat Kohli, Indian cricketer captain, Mr. Rajkumar Rao, Bollywood celebrity, Sanjeev Kapoor, Indian celebrity chef, etc. National-wide media campaign, Aaj Se Thoda Kam, to encourage consumers to make dietary modifications by gradually decreasing the consumption of fat, salt, and sugar. Over 20 companies have taken a pledge to support Eat Right India movement by reformulating their products with less amounts of fat, salt, and sugar. And details of their pledge are available on Eat Right India website. India at 75, freedom from trans fats by 2022. We have also come up with regulations for limiting industrial trans fats in all fats and oils up to 2% by the year 2022. Next slide, please. So these were some of the achievements of Eat Right India movement. Now, as you see in your screens, the Eat Right Smart City Challenge has 5 key action areas for implementation, that is licensing and registration of FBOs and surveillance drives, benchmarking and certifications, changing settings in schools and campuses, creating a sustainable food environment, and behavioral change campaigns. The details of each programs I will give you in the subsequent slides. Next slide, please. So the first key action area of implementation is licensing and registration of food businesses and surveillance drives. Under this, cities can undertake and make sure that various FBOs and other organized and unorganized sector in the cities are licensed or registered by FSSAI. So for that, every FBO must have a valid license registration from FSSAI. We have created an online platform across the country, which is available and is called Food Safety and Compliance System, FOSFOS. Cities can utilize this online platform and make sure that various FBOs who are active in their cities are licensed or registered. It is a very simple process. Everything is online, limited paperwork, and it also provides an ease of doing business. The website is fosfos.fssai.gov.in. Cities should also make sure to conduct surveillance drives to check food adulteration, food frauds. For that, you can coordinate and converge with our food safety departments and our resources, food safety officers and designated officers will help you. Samples of foods for quality assurance and control, information and education to FBOs, mechanism to ensure quality of high-risk food categories in your cities, and it also helps to identify hotspot areas for better controls and checks. Next slide, please. The next component which cities can adopt is training and capacity building. As we mentioned in the last webinar also, FSSAI has created a very large-scale training and capacity building program called FOSTAC, Food Safety and Training Certification. This program states that under every food businesses, there's a need to train and certify one food safety supervisor for every 25 food handlers. For conducting FOSTAC trainings, we have created an online platform called FOSTAC. And on that portal, every training organized is conducted online with the help of training partners across the country. We have over 260 training partners. The details of these partners are available on the website. Cities should make sure that various food businesses in the field of manufacturing, processing, retail, special businesses, high-risk businesses, street food vendors, every category of food businesses should be trained and certified by FOSTAC program. We have an ecosystem of training partners. The details are available on the website. So far, we have trained over 200,000 food safety supervisors from different parts of the country. Our food safety commissioners from states will be giving you more experience how they reached out to training partners and how the training ecosystem has built. Next slide, please. The next program that cities needs to adopt as part of each Smart Cities Challenge is benchmarking and certification. This includes two types of programs: certification of clusters, which includes street food hubs, fruits and vegetable markets, places of worship, and railway stations, and then hygiene rating for individual outlets, which includes restaurants, catering establishments, sweets and bakery shops, meat shops. So these are the two kinds of benchmarking and certification program. Basically, a cluster is a group where there is a collection of vendors together. At least 20 to 30 or 40 vendors are selling and preparing food together, and they form a cluster. And as part of this program, these clusters, the food safety the food vendors under these clusters needs to be trained, certified, and the post audit of these units needs to be done as part of the program. I will take you with the subsequent steps in the next slide. Next slide, please. So first is cluster certification. For each of the clusters identified in the previous slide, there is a 5-step procedure, which includes step 1, identification of cluster. Cities first need to identify a cluster of vendors, and ideally that cluster needs to be also identified or approved by the municipal corporation. Once the cluster is identified in the city, the next step is pre-audit. So an audit of all the food vendors should be done to identify gaps or to identify where are the necessary issues and which needs to be rectified. So that pre-audit can be done by the food safety officers and designated officers at our state's level. Once the pre-audit is done and the gaps are identified, the next step is organizing training and capacity building program for all the food vendors. So whether it's a street food vendor, whether it's a vegetable market, whether it's a place of worship or vendors on a station, the training and capacity building program under FOSTAC needs to be identified and organized. Once the training is done, the next step is final audit and certification. A proper third-party audit is planned for all the vendors, and they needs to be checked as per the predefined criteria on the basis of a checklist. If the vendor, each and every vendor in that hub is doing things as per the predefined parameters on the checklist, the cluster gets the certification, which is the third step, sustenance and certification of the cluster, as well as renewal of the certificate happens after every 2 years. On the right-hand side, there is a specimen of one certificate which we had given to the Kankaria Lake. This was the very first clean street food hub in our country. For the stakeholders, when you identify a cluster and do each and every process as mentioned above, a few stakeholders are involved in this process, which covers state food safety department. So smart cities needs to collaborate and converge with the food safety departments in their cities. Then training partners, third-party audit partners or hygiene rating audit partners who will do the third-party audit. Associations, boards, municipal corporations, and food business operators. Sometimes what happens is large-scale food businesses are also willing to support training and audit cost. So they are willing to spend some parts of their CSR money, and they also support such cluster certification. So you can also reach out to these food businesses. More details about these programs, the list of training partners, the details about the checklist, everything is available on the website www.eatriteindia.gov.in. So far, we have certified 30 places under cluster certification, and 100 more are in the pipeline. So when you go to the website, you will see details, and you will see every information pertaining to this cluster certification and what information is needed to identify clusters and certify them. Next slide, please. The next part under the benchmarking and certification program is hygiene rating. Like cluster certification is eligible for a group of vendors in a cluster. Hygiene rating is done for individual food service establishments like restaurants, catering units, meat shops, such kind of establishments comes under hygiene rating certification. For this, again, a 5-step procedure is needed. The first prerequisite is that the food service establishment should have a license, should have a registration or license by FSSAI, and a FOSFIC trained food safety supervisor. If these two criteria are met, then the FBOs can log into this hygiene rating portal, and they can do a self-evaluation using their FOSFOS login IDs and passwords. So when any food business apply for the registration and license, they get the FOSFOS login ID and password. They can use the same ID, go to the hygiene rating platform and do the self-assessment based on the predefined checklist. Once that is done, the inspection and validation is planned with support of a hygiene rating audit agency. And that hygiene rating audit agency do a third-party individual assessment of the food establishment. And based on the checklist, if they pass the audit, they give them the certificate and display the hygiene rating certificate to those establishments. The right-hand side is one example of the hygiene rating certificate. This certificate is again, the entire process is online, and till date, we have over 1,800 food service establishments who have voluntarily adopted hygiene rating scheme. And as we move forward, this number will certainly is going to grow multifold. Next slide, please. The next set of program under the key areas of action is the certification scheme, which is under this program, there are two kinds of certificates, one for the Eat Right campuses and for the Eat Right schools. An Eat Right campus is basically both Eat Right campus and schools are certifications programs for the settings-based environment where people generally go and spend at least 8 to 10 hours of their day every day. So whether you are in a college, in a university, workplace, both government institutions and private workplaces, hotels as workplaces, hospitals, jails, tea estates, and Anganwadi centers. So wherever employees are going or people are going and spending a considerable amount of time of their time every day, these settings-based environments are eligible to be certified as certification program. Next slide, please. First, I will talk about the steps for certification of a campus. It is again a 5-step procedure. The number one step is online registration, enrollment of the campus. The first and foremost, once a campus is identified, that campus nodal officer needs to go and enroll themselves online on the campus platform. It's a 2-minute procedure. Once the registration is done, the next step is to do a pre-audit or self-assessment as per the predefined checklist. Again, pre-audit can be done by the nodal officer within the campus, or it can also be planned with the help of our food safety department. Once the pre-audit is done and the gaps are identified, the next step is to organize the FOSTAC training for the food vendors in the campus. Here, if a campus has an establishment where the food is cooked, prepared, and served within the campus, that is, if they have an in-house cafeteria, then the food safety training of every food handler is important and they need to go for that training. If the food is coming from an outsourced food service establishment, which is not inside the campus, but it's situated somewhere outside, then The important and the mandatory criteria for them is to have a registration or license by FSSAI. If the training can be done, it is voluntary, it is great because the food is coming from outside and it is important for the campus to get the food which is safe and hygienic. So whether the cafeteria is located outside and it is sourced through an outside vendor, it is recommended that the FOSTEC training should be done. But if campus is not willing to do the training of outside vendor, they have to ensure that they have a valid registration or license from FSSAI. The next step is final audit and certification. Once the training is done and the gaps are identified and the campus has worked on those gaps, the next step is to plan third-party audit, which can be done by a FSSAI certified third-party audit agency or through a hygiene rating audit agency as well. The details of both the agencies are available on the eTried Campus platform. Cities can engage any of these agencies, whether they can call for a hygiene a third-party audit, or they can also engage with a hygiene rating audit agency and plan the audit. The audit is done on the basis of a predefined checklist. This checklist is available on the campus website. It has 5 components: eat safe, eat health, sorry, 4 components: eat safe, eat healthy, eat sustainable, and awareness generation and amplification activities within the campus. Once the final audit is done and the campus gets a rating of 3 and above stars, they are certified as eTried Campus. This certification is available for a period of 2 years. And then again, after a period of 2 years, the nodal officer needs to apply and re-register their campus for the revision of certification. The right-hand side is one of the example of eTried Campus, which was certified to IIT Gandhinagar in Gujarat. And every detail related to this campus certification, all the resources, checklist, details of the hygiene rating audit partner and third-party audit partners are available on the eTried Campus website, which is www.etriedindia.gov.in/eTriedCampus. So far, we have certified 96 eTried campuses across 14 states and regions, and we have almost 100 are in the pipeline, which we will be certifying in the coming months. Next slide, please. The next program under certification is eTried School. Again, here there is a 5-step procedure, and eTried School is meant for any private school, government school, any type of school within your cities. The process is 5-step procedure. First step is to register on the portal. The nodal officer in a school needs to register themselves on the portal. Once the school is registered on the portal, the school needs to certify and create health and wellness ambassadors. A school can shortlist some of their senior students or even teachers and go for a 3 to 4 hours online training course, which is also available on the portal. It's an online module. Once this training is done and the certification, they pass the test, they get the certification of health and wellness ambassadors. And this helps a school to create a health team comprising of health and wellness ambassadors. And through help of these health and wellness ambassadors, a school needs to do various eTried related activities based on the eTried school matrix. So we have created a matrix which school needs to fill up, and some of the activities that school needs to take up once they are certified their health and wellness ambassadors. And whenever they conduct any activity from the activity books and the yellow books which we have created for the school program, these needs to be uploaded on the school portal. The next step is monitoring and evaluation. So if a school has an in-house canteen or a cafeteria, the audit of that needs to be done. If the school does not have an in-house canteen and cafeteria and food is coming from any midday meal kitchen, then the evaluation of that midday meal kitchen or cafeteria needs to be done. Once the school uploads every information given in the eTried School matrix, they will be given the eTried School certification. So this is the process for an eTried School certification. All details are available on our school platform. Since due to the current situations and COVID times, We have not really been able to reach out to a large number of schools, but as things gets better and we will be progressing further, we will be able to see so many schools getting themselves registered on the platform and asking for the Teach Right campus certification. We have over 60,000 schools are already registered on the Teach Right school platforms, and a lot of schools have started conducting Teach Right activities and filling up Teach Right school matrix also. Next slide, please. The fourth key action area is creating a sustainable food environment. As you can see on the slide, under this, there are three important key interventions. One is safe food, share food, repurpose used cooking oil, and safe and sustainable packaging. Under safe food, share food, this program intends to spread awareness to reduce food wastage. So cities can organize camps or awareness drives to engage and promote a reduction in any sort of food wastage. They can also promote food donations by FBOs. I would also like to mention that we have created an Indian Food Sharing Alliance and IFSA network. And on that platform, you will see over 80 food donation agencies who are operating in more than 100 cities. And they are basically helping to collect food from whosoever would like to donate and distributing the food to the needy. So cities can engage these food distribution agencies and create an awareness drive amongst their cities to reduce food wastage among people. The next step, the next program is repurpose used cooking oil. As part of the FSS regulations, there is a requirement that used cooking oil with TPC of with total polar compounds of over 25% in used cooking oil is hazardous to health and should not be used. Cities can spread this information and create more awareness about the hazards and harmful effects of used cooking oil, and also converge with the manufacturers and food businesses in your locations to convert used cooking oil into biodiesel. You can create a network of collection agencies. Some of the agencies are already working across different parts of the country, and you can converge with them and urge businesses to discard used cooking oil, which can be used for conversion into biodiesel or any other products. Cities can also spread awareness amongst citizens about the harmful effects of used cooking oil and how used cooking oil is not good for health and what they should do. Simple steps and methods about awareness generation and citizen sensitization are also available on our website, which cities can utilize and create some awareness drives around that. The next program is safe and sustainable packaging. Under this program essentially says to spread awareness about reducing the use of plastics and switching to the alternative. So awareness drives can be planned to reduce use of plastics and encouraging citizens to switch to other alternatives. Cities can sensitize FBOs to reduce plastic packaging in food and beverages as much as possible. Cities can also plan various collection drives where they can urge citizens to segregate plastic waste from other waste, and such drives can be organized in different settings so that consumers are motivated and they also understand that why it is important to have not just safe and healthy food, but sustainable food. Next slide, please. The last component under key action areas is behavioral change campaigns. Under this, basically a lot of awareness should be given to citizens to understand safe food, healthy foods, as well as sustainable foods. What we have done so far, FSSAI has already given food safety on wheels. You can see one of the picture of the food safety on wheels. We have given food safety on wheels to over almost all the states, and we have delivered over 90 food safety on wheels, this vehicle to the states. This vehicle is used for a lot of awareness, sensitization activities, and our food safety commissioners from states will give you more understanding how they have taken a step forward and used this vehicle for a lot of awareness generation activities within their cities. We have created a lot of resource material which can be utilized to sensitize citizens about safe food. There is a DART book which helps you to detect local and simple adulterants in food through very simple and basic tests that can be performed at home. So awareness can be done through the help of DART book. We have also created food safety guidebooks for teachers. We also publish various kinds of consumer guidance boards which are helpful to create content when you spread awareness amongst your citizens and plan various awareness drives. FSSAI also publish information against various myth busters that prevails time to time, and we burst these myths on our website. For promoting healthier choices, we have a couple of campaigns which are available in Hindi as well as other local languages. So you can utilize these. We have done a very large-scale campaign by Rajkumar Rao and Virat Kohli, which says that aaj se thoda kam, and how you can gradually reduce amount of salt, sugar, and fats in your diets. We have done a campaign on food fortification, and through this campaign, Plus F Dekha Kya, it promotes Plus F logo and how citizens can identify products which are fortified with the help of Plus F logo. So as part of the behavioral change campaign, for the citizen engagement, cities can utilize these campaigns, cities can utilize various videos and TVCs, and they are also available in local language, and spread information and disseminate information through various channels, through radios, cinemas, billboards, and sensitize citizens about promoting safe and healthier food choices. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So these were the 5 key action areas that cities needs to implement as part of the Eat Smart Cities challenge, and details about each and every program, how it has to be undertaken at the ground level. Before I close, I would also like to spend a minute on this slide. So FSSAI has a huge ecosystem which is available to support you while you are implementing all these programs at the ground level. We have a network of professionals in food safety and nutrition. And in the last webinar, you have heard Dr. Bani. She's a part of NetProfan group. This group has almost 27 chapters in different parts of the country, and they have undertaken 100+ activities for citizen engagement and sensitization. So cities can utilize this group, engage with our professionals in food safety and nutrition, and identify various innovative ways to engage with citizens. We have a network of training partners. These training partners exist in different parts of the country, and the details are available on the website. They are available as for the states and cities, and all details of our training partners are available. These training partners will help you, will create an ecosystem to build the training and capacity building requirements of food businesses in your respective locations. We have created a network of audit agencies which will help you to do post-audit under each and every program which we discussed earlier. There is a network of over 30 third-party auditors which is certified by FSSAI, and 16 hygiene rating audit agencies are also available who are doing audits in various kinds of environment. Then we have a huge resource available which you can utilize to disseminate information amongst people. We have awareness videos, like I mentioned. They are available in Hindi as well as in different local languages. We have creatives and social media designs which are also available on our website. There are a lot of guidance documents, books. We have a Eat Right India handbook which has every detailed information about programs, implementation, how you have to go about these programs, what kind of resources are available. Every information is available in that handbook. So I certainly urge you to go through this handbook and check what all information is available. It also has coordinates of various stakeholders who are engaged in the programs. And then Eat Right India website as well as the Eat Smart Cities Challenge website. Then last but not the least, we also have created a network of industry associations, consumer organizations, NGOs, and CSR partners who are always willing to support and help. They have worked a lot with us in the past. A lot of them are already working with states under one of the challenge which we organized last year, and they will be always willing to support you and help you with all these activities. Thank you so much. This was from my side. Now I would like to invite our states, and let's hear from the experiences which they have and how they have implemented the HIV initiatives in different environments. Thank you. So I would first like to invite Ms. Deepika Chauhan from Gujarat Food Safety Department. She will be giving us a brief orientation on how Gujarat has done an exemplary work in adopting various Nutrite India initiatives, and also giving you some of the interesting stats about the initiatives they have adopted. Over to you, ma'am.
You're on mute.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you very much for inviting Gujarat State, and thank you, Ruchika. Again, you have displayed both the certificates of Eat Right Campus and Clean Street Food Hub from the Gujarat itself, because Gujarat has taken all the initiatives for those certificates. Thank you, FSSAI, for all the supports for the states. And under this Eat Right India campaign, we have started the work in way back in 2018 that started with Swasth Bharat Yatra. Ruchika, I have sent you the my presentation. Can you display that? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Just give us a minute. We are displaying.
Sure. So in 2018, Pawan Agrawal sir was there as a CEO of FSSAI, and he gave the whip of Swasth Bharat Yatra. So from that time only we started this Eat Right India campaign. And then the new CEO and chairperson and Inoshi ma'am, the wonderful whip is again given for Eat Right challenge of the districts. And I'm happy to announce that Gujarat has, from Gujarat, 28 districts has taken part in the Eat Right challenge. And now this is Eat Smart Cities. It is a part of the Smart City. So in this Eat Smart City, lot many things what we have already done or we have started to do in Eat Right challenge is incorporated into this. So I will share some slides of what work is actually done and what is doable very easily. When the Gujarat can do, all the states also can do. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yes. Under this Eat Right Cities, yeah, this slides. Okay, thank you. Under this Eat Right City, the main campaign is Sahi Bhojan Behtar Jeevan. And Ruchika has explained it very well. Even the last webinar, it was explained it very well. So in this Eat Right India, it is a part of Eat Right India movement only. And I'm happy that from Gujarat, 6 cities has applied for this Eat Right City campaign. Those cities are Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat, Gandhinagar, Dahod and Rajkot. And in all these 6 cities, already the work has been started under this Eat Right Challenge program that we will see in detail. Next slide, please. Yes. As Ruchika has explained, that our Eat Right City or Eat Smart City will be containing these ladders. For an example, hygiene rating. How many hotels and restaurants and eateries are hygienically rated under this program? And they are certified under this hygiene rating. Then we have Eat Right Campus. We have lot many colleges, hospitals, factories, where lot many people, jails, lot many people take food on a regular basis. So those canteens and those campuses are supposed to be Eat Right Campus. Then Clean Street Food Hub. Gujaratis and all the people are very foodie and they love to eat on the streets. But if that food available on the streets is safe, hygienically offered, then nothing like that. So we have awarded Clean Street Food Hub certification. Then Bhog, all the temples where we take the prasad, and we take the prasad with very like हमारा religion इतना ये है कि we don't even think of if it is unsafe, अगर उससे कुछ हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा. But FSSAI has taken very much care for that, and all the temples who are serving the food or prasad are certified by this Bhog. Then we have clean fruits and vegetable market. The same in Gujarat also we have identified those markets, and we will certify for that. Eat Right School campus is also again very good VIP. Then FOSTEC training. All the food handlers are supposed to be trained and certified under FOSTEC training. Next, please. Yeah. So I will talk about all the 6 cities where already work is started by this FDCA. So all the municipal corporations have not to worried about this Eat Smart City में क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे. The Food and Drug Control Department has already started work under this Eat Right Challenge program. So Ahmedabad is already having 287 hotels and restaurants which are hygienically rated. 800 FOSTEC food handlers are already trained under this FOSTEC program. Then Ahmedabad city is having 4 Eat Right campus, which are maybe few are university and 1 or 2 are campus, like factories. Then we have Ahmedabad is fortunate to have 7 clean street food hubs. Ahmedabad is having lot many clusters for the street food, and out of that 7 are certified. Then Vadodara is having 112 hotels and restaurants which are hygienically rated. Then FOSTEC trainings are already given to 145 food handlers. Then 1 clean street food hub. Surat is having they have given training to 75 food handlers. Next, please. Next, please. Gandhinagar. Gandhinagar is fortunate. Previous slide, please. Previous slide, please. Yes. Gandhinagar is fortunate to have 84 hotels and restaurants which are hygienically rated. Then 1 temple, the Swaminarayan temple, is Bhog certified. Then FOSTEC training is given to 222 food handlers. Eat Right campuses are given to 5 campuses. Then 2 clean street food hubs. Dahod is a very small town, but it is a smart city, and in that 1 clean street food hub is certified. Rajkot again is a big city where 197 hotels and restaurants and eateries are certified under hygiene rating. Then Eat Right campus, that is 1 Eat Right jail is awarded as a Eat Right campus, and many are in pipeline, and 1 clean street food hub. Next, please. Next, please. Next slide. Yes. If I talk about the whole Gujarat, previous slide, please. Previous one. If I talk about the whole Gujarat, out of 96 campuses, 26 campuses are awarded to the Gujarat. Out of 30 streets, clean street food hubs, 17 are awarded in Gujarat and 5 are in pipeline. Out of 100 temples, 20 are awarded in Gujarat. Out of, see, for hygiene rating, there is no like limit, but 950 hotels and restaurants are already awarded in Gujarat with the hygiene rating certificate. And 5 clean street fresh and vegetable markets are identified. Gujarat is trying for getting the certificates of that. So in Gujarat, under this Eat Right Challenge program, we have already started working. Even in the RUCO, Gujarat has collected more than 4 lakh liter oil, that is used cooking oil, under this RUCO program. And we have done a surveillance of more than 5,000 FBOs with the TPC instrument, which will immediately tell what is the TPC value of the used cooking oil. Even with the food safety vehicles, Gujarat is having 4 FSWs, and we are doing continuous testing as well as awareness programs and training programs with the help of this food safety on wheels. Next, please. Next, please. Especially for today's speech, I was being told that what work you have done with the for the jails. You please elaborate that. So Gujarat is a leading state with 26 Eat Right campuses, and in this Eat Right campuses, we have targeted educational campuses, jails, government campuses like canteens of Gujarat Vidhan Sabha, then canteens of hospitals, canteens of industrial campuses, dairies, etc. In Gujarat, next please. In Gujarat, we have 30 jails. And out of these 30 jails, 5 are already awarded with the Eat Right campus certificate. Here you can see that 26 list of Eat Right campuses of Gujarat and 17 list of 17 streets where the people can go and take and enjoy their food on the streets without worrying about their health. Next, please. Next, please. So this is the list of 5 jails, and we hope and we already try that more and more jails out of 30 jails will get the campus certificate, or if it is a small jail, we will take them up for this hygiene rating certificate. Next, please. Here are few certificates of the jails which are already been awarded. So finally, I want to say thank you to Inoshi ma'am for specially, and Shobhit Jain sir and CEO sir, and of course the whole team of FSSAI. They have supported us at each and every stage so that all the states can get the right food for their people, can get the safe and wholesome food, and all the programs can be easily complied with all the compliances, and the whole path is decided so minutely and so nicely. And not the least, I am really thankful to the Commissioner of Food Safety of Gujarat, Dr. H.G. Koshia. He was supposed to join this, but because of his prior commitment with the government, he has conveyed his best wishes for all the cities of the country, especially the Gujarat, that they will get the success for this smart city campaign. And all the best. Any type of help, FDCA Gujarat is ready. We have all the district offices and they are very much aware of all these campaigns. So please contact us at headquarters also and at district level also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an elaborative presentation. And I can certainly see the cities under Gujarat will certainly seek out more support from FDCA, and they will certainly be able to implement initiatives and key action areas which we have identified under the Smart Cities Challenge. I would also like to inform and update all participants that we introduced Eat Right Challenge for cities and districts last year. This was open for all cities and districts under our state food safety departments. And a lot of progress has done in the past 1 year. We've seen from ma'am's presentation how Gujarat has taken various initiatives. And we are sure that as we go forward under Eat Smart Cities Challenge also, we will see the cities who have participated from Gujarat will certainly implement various initiatives. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Sukhvinder Singh, Designated Officer Food Safety, Chandigarh Administration, for talking about food safety and awareness initiatives in Chandigarh and how they have utilized the limited resources available with them to increase the ecosystem there and adopt various initiatives. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm thankful to FSSAI for inviting Chandigarh for this presentation. Really, the Gujarat has done a commendable job, and really I congratulate Deepika Madam for doing it. And definitely, we will also follow the same path. So we in Chandigarh being a small city of around 114 square kilometer area. So we these are the initiatives very well explained by Ruchika, and we tried our best to engage ourselves in each and every initiative started by the FSSAI, and we covered almost every initiative, and one or two have been left, and definitely we will cover those also. So certification, if we will talk about the certification, so we got these certification for the Eat Right campuses. I think Chandigarh is having only one model jail. So the jail has been declared as a Eat Right. It is the first jail in the country declared as a Eat Right campus. And then we conducted Eat Right campus activities for the rest of the three institutes. One is the government Girls College, Sector 11, and there is a Hotel Management College, Sector 41, and there is a Dr. Ambedkar College. And these are all four institutes for which we got Eat Right campus, and one clean street food hub, that is Sector 8 Inner Market. We got the certification for clean street food hub. We conducted around 70 trainings under the FOSTEC program and covered around more than 4,000 people and got them trained under the FOSTEC program. So these are the certifications which we received from the FSSAI. Thanks to the FSSAI for considering us for these campuses and clean street food hub. So the project which are near completion, so we are associated with schools. Mostly we conducted so many seminars in schools, campuses. We are now in association with the PGI, Community Medicine Department is there. So we are in a process to declare PGI as a Eat Right campus. Then we are having a vegetable markets. Two markets are there which are under process, and soon the clean street food vegetable market got certified. And then we conducted recently FOSTEC training programs for street food vendor in association with the Community Medicine Department of the PGI. Dr. Poonam is there, and she associated with us, and we conducted we trained more than 200 to 300 street food vendors. Two temples under the Bhog are under process, and we are now started conducting trainings with the Anganwadi centers. In Chandigarh, we are having around more than 400 Anganwadi centers, and in association with the Social Welfare Department, we are in a process to train each and every Anganwadi worker over there with the help of the Eat Right toolkit provided by the FSSAI. So basically, what we observed after conducting these Eat Right initiatives, we feel that still people and even the food business operators, they require more guidance, more awareness, and about the people, even the general public, they require from where they can get the material tested easily. So these are the few things which we observe, that people, after going through various seminars and awareness programs, we came to know that really people want to know the place where they can complain for the anything which is wrong available in the market. They want to know awareness about the various fruits and vegetables and the nutrition. So what we did, how we implemented these very programs in Chandigarh, we constituted a awareness general team equipped with the mobile food testing lab, which is provided by the FSSAI, and we prepared an IC material for that. We did survey of the various institutions for implementation of the initiatives, took public views about the issue related to the food safety and nutrition, prepared implementation plan for the respective stakeholders, and approached each and every stakeholder and arranged workshop with live demonstrations of testings of the adulterant with the help of this mobile food testing lab. So these are the things we associated with schools. We contacted school authorities. We arranged training programs over there. Students participated very well in this program. We showed them live testings of the adulterant. So what we observed that whenever we do any kind of training program in advance, we convey the same to the school authorities, and the school children, they used to bring various food articles from their home for the testing. So this will boost their confidence, and they will came to know about the various adulterants which is available, which we find in the products, and how to get them tested at their home. So we gave them the trainings. So now the second is there are around more than 48 health and wellness centers in Chandigarh. With the help of this mobile food testing lab, what we did, we made a roster, and with our team and with our IEC material, we approached each and every health and wellness center on daily basis. And as you know, that people usually come for their medical checkup and for the medicine to these health and wellness centers. So we get a good crowd over there of around daily. When we approach each and health and wellness center, we find around more than 100 to 150 people over there. So we started educating, we started awareing these people, those who are coming over there, about the safe food and nutrition. And even during this COVID pandemic period, we started even giving awareness to them about how to take care of themselves during this COVID session. So we are regularly covering these areas in Chandigarh. And then we covered our hospitals' kitchens. We are having 3 major government hospitals in Chandigarh. One is PGI, one is Sector 32 and Sector 16 hospital. So we conducted fast-track training programs for the kitchen staff, and we trained almost every kitchen staff under this fast-track training program within a span of 1 week. And now all are very well trained, and we are regularly monitoring these kitchens on regular basis. Then under the Bhog project, we conducted various workshops in the temples, and now we in 2 temples are under in pipeline. So we conducted the pre-audits. Now the foreign audit is pending, but due to this pandemic, after the pandemic over, we will finalize the final audit of these temples. Then one more important thing is that we started our awareness program. We contacted the resident welfare associations of the cities. So there are large number of resident welfare associations in Chandigarh. So we contacted them. We started arranging workshops, awareness programs at their doorstep. Even we started with the help of this mobile food testing lab. We set up awareness camp and testing camps in their societies. Even we started an awareness program for the morning walkers. If you see the photos which are at the bottom, we engaged our mobile food testing lab, and we set up morning camps for the walkers, those who used to come to the parks for walking and exercise. So we got a very good response from the people, and now on regular basis we are arranging these types of workshops with the resident welfare associations, and with the in the morning at in front of the these parks and societies. So eating out, we, as you know, one of the program is the hygiene rating program. So we conducted various programs, workshops with the hotel industries, and they were made aware about the hygiene rating program, and now the restaurant people and even the dhaba, they started engaging themselves into this hygiene rating program of the FSSAI. We conducted various seminars, various educational programs with the street food vendors. On the spot, registration of street food vendors was conducted. They were made aware about the hygiene practices they have to follow during their routine work. So we conducted many programs with the street food vendors. Then food fortification. So in 2017, the food fortification was launched in Chandigarh. And with the help of one of the organizations, that is the PATH, and with the support of the FSSAI, we are able to get 3 major machines which are converting this rice into a fortified rice. And we set up these machines. One is in the jail premises, one is in the hotel management institute, and one is with the school education department. So now the midday meal and the food which is served to the Anganwadi center is now totally fortified. So whatever the food they are getting, the children they are getting, and under the ICDS program, those Anganwadi centers are getting, this is totally fortified in Chandigarh. Then one of the initiative is there, that is which is the Eat Right Toolkit, which is provided by the FSSAI. We conducted seminars and workshops with the ANMs. So basically ANMs are the first health workers, those who comes in contact with the general public. So they are very important, and they play a very important role in the health system. So we conducted seminars for them. We provided them education. We provided them training as the schedule, as the kit provided by the FSSAI. And we issued them, each and every ANM has been issued a kit. So 200 ANMs got training last month, and we have supplied kits to them also, and we have also shown them how to test food articles at the doorstep, so that they can, whenever they visit the village area or the colonies area, so they can able to guide the resident over there how to get the things checked at their home also. So then regarding RUCO, repurpose used cooking oil. So we launched this initiative in 2020, and thereafter a workshop was organized with the stakeholders, those halwai walas, dhaba walas, even the hotel industries, and in association with, we also took on board the bio oil diesel manufacturers. So now in Chandigarh, basically every month we used to collect these biodiesel manufacturers used to collect around 2 metric ton per month. And with the help of this instant testing equipment given by the FSSAI, our officers, our even technicians, they are those who are in the mobile food testing lab, they used to go to the field and test the oil being used by these dhaba walas and halwai wala, and guide them and suggest them the right way of using the edible oil. Then Eat Right station, if you talk, so the process is on. Basically, the station is with the central authorities, but on the request, now we associated with the central authorities to make our railway station an Eat Right railway station. We conducted the survey of the complete railway station. Each and every outlet has now been registered with the FSSAI, and pre-audit has already been conducted, and final audit is in pipeline, and soon the station will be certified as an Eat Right station. And one important thing, now we started educating college children. So in association with the NSS volunteers also, we started giving them awareness, education about the safe and healthy food and hygienic food. So basically, we conducted many workshops in almost every college of the city. So, what my observation after conducting these very activities, that this is the right platform, I can say, of implementation of the various provisions of the food law. And really, now there is an awareness among the general public and the school children, and now people are coming to us with the complaints they are what they are facing in the food articles, and now they came to know the right platform where they can get the information about safe and nutritious food. Institutions are also now keen to be a part of this Eat Right India movement and get themselves registered under Eat Right campus. We have received so many requests from various colleges to be a part of this Eat Right movement. So in the last, I would like to say that one of my suggestions after the various activities we conducted, what we observed that there is a need of a special task force. If we really want that our city should be made a smart city, there should be a special task force and to be constituted of the nodal officer from the East Department, those who are involved in the smart city project, so that there should be a better coordination among them. And every month there should be a review meeting of the work accomplished by each department under the chairmanship of some senior officer of the district to get a better result. So thank you very much from my side, and thank you very much. Thanks to the FSSAI for giving me a chance to present the whatever work we have done in Chandipet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us an overview and a brief understanding of how, with the limited resources, you have utilized food safety on wheels. You have reached out to various pillars in the ecosystem and has been able to deliver more with limited resources. I think cities will certainly take more help and they will reach out to you as and when they need support. Next, I would like to invite Dr. P. Senthil Kumar, IAS, Principal Secretary to Government and Commissioner of Food Safety, Tamil Nadu. Over to you, Senthil, sir.
Good afternoon to you all. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible. So we'll just display your presentation. Right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can we please display sir's presentation, or we can give him screen sharing rights?
I did give him the screen sharing rights.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So, I have recently joined as Commissioner of Food Safety. So, whatever our department has done over the last year, that I'd like to briefly present. As part of this Eat Right challenge, they have taken up it in almost 50% of the districts in our state with designated officers and FSOs in charge of these initiatives. And as part of special initiative, ICDS Center in Kanchipuram has been certified, and IEC campaigns were one of the important components of this program. And more than 300 hygiene rating of restaurants have been completed, and one clean street food hub has been taken up and completed. And the number of meat shops, sweet shops, and fish shops hygiene rating has also been completed. And they've taken up this BOG rating in 7 places of worship, and these have been completed, and many more are under progress. And training is one of the more important component of this challenge, and more than 30,000 ICDS staff have been trained, and more than 5,000 FASTAC training for retailing and manufacturing, catering personnel have been done. And 3 street food vendors have also been trained, and apart from self-help group women and midday meal staff. More than 1,500 have been trained in association with the social welfare department. So training formed an important component for whatever the state was able to achieve. And because of the IEC and other activities, more than 85,000 licenses were issued, and with more than 3.5 lakh registrations. With regard to the special initiative in Kanchipuram district, 14 ICDS centers, the Anganwadi centers were chosen, and accredited agency was selected. They visited the centers and then did pre-audit, and based on their input, a number of changes were done to the civic infrastructure and other the way in which they were handling the food. Then all these changes and then improvements along with training had resulted in certification of these centers. So it was possible because of extensive training to the ICDS staff with our motivated team of designated officers and FSOs. And this is one of the certificates that has been issued. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for today's discussion. I would like to mention here that Tamil Nadu was the first state who reached out to us and gave us a suggestion to include Anganwadi centers also under Eat Right Campus certification. Since they mentioned that in Anganwadi centers, the people who are coming to them and working there are also treated as workplaces, and they spend considerable amount of time at these centers. So why not we also convert them into Eat Right campuses? And we are happy to mention that we have already certified almost 14 Anganwadi centers from the state. So this is one of the innovative models that Tamil Nadu had suggested and came across. As we move forward, and we'll see smart cities coming forward and implementing these 3-5 action areas in their cities, we will certainly see if we will also come up with more innovative ideas like this. Thank you so much for joining us, sir, today. Now, for the closure, I would now like to invite Rahul, sir, for his closing remarks and vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ruchika. Indeed, it was a pleasure listening to the two states and the union territories about the work and initiatives that have already been initiated in definitely, I feel that the smart cities can leverage on the work that has already been done and basically scale it up to an extent that it becomes a part of the overall design thinking of cities and the way we basically plan our urban centers. So looking forward to active engagement with the concerned officials from the Food Safety and Standards Department of the various state governments and union territories with the smart cities. Please reach out to them. Feel free to get in touch with the FSSAI authorities over here. Our Smart Cities Mission team at Mahua will be helping you there in that regard. And we look forward to more such webinars in future with regard to the various initiatives and what are the best practices that we have available to us to learn from. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ruchika.
Thank you so much, sir. And with this note, we would like to close today's session. I would like to mention that registration phase is closed now. We have closed the registrations. And now smart cities can start picking up initiatives, and they can start sensitizing their cities and citizens about these initiatives. And from the next month onwards, we will be doing a series of webinars where we will be engaging more with you and listening more from you about your experiences, about your learnings and what you have started achieving and implementing at the ground level. So please feel free to reach out to any of us. We will be sharing all presentations of today's session in the group. We will also be uploading all presentations on the website. We will create a specific tab called webinars. You all can access these presentations, and you can reach out to any of us anytime for more help as needed. Thank you so much. And once again, thanks to all dignitaries. Thank you everyone And thanks to team for coordinating and thank you so much.
Thank you.